If you look at a map of China, you'll notice a striking divide: the lush, water-rich south and the arid, water-scarce north. This contrast has posed a monumental challenge for centuries, especially as cities like Beijing continue to grow. In an unprecedented move, China is building the world's largest artificial river to solve this problem. Known as the South-North Water Transfer Project, it aims to transport water over 3,000 kilometers through a network of canals, tunnels, and reservoirs. This ambitious undertaking will benefit over 140 million people, with an estimated cost of $62 billion. The project's scale and complexity are staggering, involving elevating dams, constructing massive aqueducts, and even relocating entire communities. But can this grand vision truly overcome the immense environmental and logistical hurdles? China, a land of contrasts, has always been both blessed and cursed by its geography. The fertile floodplains of the Yangtze and Yellow rivers in the east have sustained human civilizations for thousands of years. These rivers provided abundant resources, turning the Yellow River Valley into one of the largest and most consistently developed agricultural regions in the world. However, the story is starkly different in northern and western China, where deserts and towering mountains dominate the landscape. The Taklamakan and Gobi deserts in the north and the Himalayas in Tibetan Plateau in the west create harsh environments that are sparsely populated and unsuitable for agriculture. This geographic divide is highlighted by the fact that 94% of China's population lives in the eastern half of the country. The capital, Beijing, along with other northern cities, has long been a center of population, agriculture, and trade. However, as China's population and economy grew rapidly in the mid-20th century, these regions began to face severe water shortages. Northern cities like Beijing relied heavily on groundwater, which soon became overexploited due to increasing urban and industrial demands. The expanding Gobi Desert exacerbated the problem, leading to more frequent dust and sandstorms. Desertification, driven by deforestation, climate change, and groundwater depletion, claimed vast areas of grassland each year. By the early 1950s, it was clear that northern China would struggle to supply enough water to its growing population. The situation was dire, with northern cities expanding and water resources dwindling. The need for a solution was urgent. In 1952, Mao Zedong, the founder of the People's Republic of China, proposed a bold idea: transferring water from the south, where it was abundant, to the arid north. The vision would take decades to materialize. Finally, in 2002, after years of planning and research, the Chinese government approved the South-North Water Transfer Project. This ambitious plan aimed to create a vast network of aqueducts, tunnels, reservoirs, and dams to transfer fresh water from the water-rich south to the parched north. The project consists of three major canal systems: the eastern, central, and western routes. Each route presents unique challenges and opportunities. Engineers would need to carve through mountains to complete it, making it a daunting task. If completed, the western route could bring much-needed water to nearly 100 million people in northern China. This project, already benefiting millions, has come at a significant financial, environmental, and social cost. Yet, its success in alleviating water shortages in the north showcases China's ability to undertake and complete massive infrastructure projects. The project kicks off with the eastern route, which begins near the city of Yangzhou. This route leverages the Yangtze River, one of the mightiest rivers in the world. Water is pumped from the Yangtze into the Jinghang Grand Canal, the longest man-made waterway on the planet. From there, it journeys through an underground tunnel beneath the Yellow River and finally reaches Tianjin, just northwest of Beijing. The eastern route is over 1,100 kilometers long. Construction began in 2002, and after overcoming numerous delays, fresh water finally started flowing to Tianjin in 2017, benefiting around 10 million people. But the central route, completed in 2014, is an even more impressive feat of engineering. This route begins at the Dangjiangkou Reservoir, which required a significant upgrade to make this project possible. The Dangjiangkou Dam had to be elevated by 15 meters, increasing the reservoir's capacity so water could flow north without the need for pumps. This seemingly small change required the relocation of over 300,000 people from Hubei and Henan provinces to make room for the expanded reservoirs and canals. The central route's water travels through a series of canals and aqueducts, forming a kind of elevated and underground waterway. One of the most notable structures on this route is the Shahi Aqueduct, which stretches over the Shahi River for more than 12 kilometers above ground. This engineering marvel showcases the combination of modern technology and traditional aqueduct design, allowing water to flow seamlessly across various terrains. The journey continues north, with water finally reaching Beijing, the nation's capital. This route is over 1,200 kilometers long and diverts about one-third of the Han River's flow to supply northern regions. The water transfer has been vital for sustaining Beijing's growing population and industries. However, diverting so much water from the Han River has posed challenges for the communities and ecosystems relying on it downstream. To address this, in July 2022, China announced the construction of a massive underground tunnel. This tunnel, 1 kilometer below the surface, will connect the Three Gorges Dam to the Han River and then to the central route, ensuring a steady water supply to Beijing. Once completed, this tunnel will be the longest and deepest artificial waterway ever built, capable of transferring 12 cubic kilometers of water annually, roughly a third of the Three Gorges Reservoir capacity. While the eastern and central routes are already operational, the western route remains the most challenging and ambitious. This route aims to connect the Yangtze River to the Yellow River through the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, a region that sits 3 to 5 kilometers above sea level. This area's harsh topography and extreme climate make construction incredibly difficult. Engineers would need to carve through mountains, create a series of tunnels and aqueducts to transport water across this treacherous terrain. The western route is expected to be completed by 2050. Once operational, it could bring up to 17 cubic kilometers of fresh water annually to northern provinces, benefiting nearly 100 million people along its path. There have also been unofficial plans to divert water from transboundary rivers like the Brahmaputra and Mekong, which flow into India and Southeast Asia. The construction of the South-North Water Transfer Project has not been without significant financial, environmental, and social costs. The total cost of the project is estimated to be around $62 billion US. This figure doesn't account for the billions needed to maintain over 3,000 kilometers of canals, aqueducts, dams, tunnels, and reservoirs. The environmental impact has also been substantial. The project has disrupted hundreds of natural rivers, some of which have completely dried up as their water has been diverted. The central route, starting at the Dangjiangkou Reservoir, has faced issues with industrial waste and sewage contaminating the water supply. Cities like Xi'an dump industrial waste into the Han River, which feeds directly into the reservoir and eventually into the canals leading to Beijing. Furthermore, the diversion of the Yangtze River's flow by as much as 36% during the central route's construction raised concerns about the potential backflow of seawater from the Yellow Sea into the local water supplies of coastal cities like Shanghai and even Nantong. If the Yangtze's flow continues to decrease, saltwater intrusion could even reach the man-made canals themselves, triggering a nationwide water crisis. One of the most major reasons the western route is still in the planning stages is the potential environmental impact. Constructing tunnels through a seismically active Qinghai-Tibet Plateau could trigger landslides and disrupt local ecosystems. Additionally, an earthquake in this region could cause significant damage to the infrastructure, costing the Chinese government billions in repairs and posing a threat to the water supply. Despite these concerns, the Chinese government remains committed to completing the western route, aiming to address water shortages and support the continued growth of northern cities. While the South-North Water Transfer Project has made significant strides in addressing water shortages, its long-term success will hinge on sustainable practices and minimizing environmental impact. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our future videos.